Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of my Out of the Park Baseball 22 series with the Pittsburgh Pirates, and we're going to be getting right into it with our series with the Phillies. Last episode I went ahead and previewed the series by looking at the Phillies roster, and that leaves pretty much nothing else for us to do prior to getting into the series. So we're going to go ahead and do just that and get into playing the series against the Phillies, playing the NLDS, and in Game 1, they're going to be having their ace, Jack Flaherty, go up against us. And we're going to be throwing Ryan Nelson, who historically has been a very good pitcher for us the past two seasons. Pretty much identical ERAs in both of those years. I want to say that his FIP was much better in 2025, and it had to have been because he led the league in Ks per 9, also led the league in strikeouts. This year, he was not nearly as effective. We're going to have a tough decision to make with him this year as he gets into his arbitration years, and that with the fact that we don't have a lot of money to spend. So without further ado, he's going to be again pitching this game for us. So we're going to go ahead and get into it by, of course, going by half inning at first, and then getting more specific, going batter by batter as we get into higher leverage as needed. And speaking of that, the Phillies get the board first. Alec Baum with a 2-run homer. So lots of 2-run homers starting games that we're jumping into. However, we are not able to answer back as the Cubs did in our last game. The Phillies tack on another run here. Looks like they did it by the way of a Jacob Gonzalez hit. A solo homer actually by him. I don't know how I missed that exactly. We, in the meantime, pick up our first hit of the game. Really struggling here against Flaherty, who looks like he has brought his best stuff. Nelson is able to get through that inning, see if he can give us 5, and he does. The thing about Nelson is that he, of course, doesn't have the highest stamina, so he can't go as long as a lot of the other guys that we have in our rotation. I think we're going to go ahead and send him out there for the 6th, though. He's only at 77 pitches. He's going to be facing Harper here and then the bottom of their lineup. Although we are in a situation here where Nelson is on deck, so we're going to see what Simmons does here at the bat. He's going to pop up. We are down. I think it might be in our best interest to let Nelson hit and do this next inning. He gave up a run there. Triple by Realmuto. A triple by Realmuto got him on base, but then Adam Hazley hit him in. Looks like it was a fielder's choice, so maybe not the best choice there to put Nelson in. He really had a lot of work that inning, got up to 104 pitches. Definitely would not like him to reach that many pitches normally. Then we're going to go with Kawasaki here. We are down 4. Let's see if we can do anything here, and we can't. See if he can prevent them from scoring. He does. We're going to get someone else here. Probably someone, again, lower. One of our poorer relievers on our team. We're going to go with Kobos here. He should be able, I think he can give us multiple innings. He can. And we might just try to do just that with him. Burns in scoring position. He is able to. They do have quite a bit of lefties here. I don't believe we have a left-handed starting pitcher on our team. We're going to let Kobos go here, I believe. See if he can get something done for us there. He pitches a clean inning. And see if we can get Simmons on here. We're going to be pinch hitting for Kobos anyway. I didn't think about that when I said the possibility of bringing him in for multiple innings. Still going to need to pinch hit with him here. Munoz is on the mound. Jing Shang's who we're going to go with at the plate. Just need to get someone up. To be honest, I don't really want to waste a lefty with all these lefties in our lineup in what very well might be a throwaway game. So I think we might just go with Hartlieb here, one of our lower rated relievers. See if we can do anything here. And actually, we're not even going to need to do that because they, of course, had the lead going to the bottom of the ninth. So I did not think about that. Alright, now we're getting into game 2 here, where we have Rocker facing up against Alex Wood. Wood is, of course, a lefty, so breaking out our lineup against left-handed pitching for this game. Ramos is cold. He also is better against lefties, though, so we're not going to make a drastic move here with Palma. I also am going to leave Gallo in to hit. So we'll see how this lineup works out. Rortvedt will also leave him in. Their lineup is the same because, of course, we're throwing another righty, and gonna see if we can take take a game here at home. Phillies get on the board first once again. Looks like it was by way of a Hazley sacrifice fly, scoring Real Muto once again. But we were able to actually score a run in this game and tie things up. And look at that, it was a Ramos solo homer, so hopefully that's able to get him going out of his cold streak. Nothing doing in the third, although we do pick up a hit. More of a lot of nothing in this game until we pick up a run in the bottom of the 5th inning. And it looks like it was a Hudson Head double that, Hudson Head scored the run, but he was hit in by Brian Hayes with a 2-out RBI single, it looks like. So he coming up big out of the 3-hole there. Rocker 71 pitches deep. We're going to let him pitch top of the 6th. Rocker is 93 pitches in. His spot could possibly come up here at the bottom of this inning. Hazley I know, struggles against left-handed pitching. Fairchild is pretty evenly split. Hazley does not hit well against lefties. Neither does Gonzalez is pretty much exactly the same. Two-ring does hit worse against left-handed pitching, as does Stott by a little bit. The main splits person who we're trying to get here is Harper. We do not want Harper to be in situations late in the game where he's hitting against right-handed pitching. So I think what we're going to do is save a lefty. There was a day in between games. Kawasaki and Kobos are both unavailable. Nick Nelson also is banged up. He has a cold, so he's not actually banged up. He just isn't 100% because of that. I think we're going to get Hartlieb up here, and that's who we'll go with in the 7th if we need to. Scoring position, we don't get out of it with a run. But with Rocker about to go into the red, we're going to go with Hartlieb here. He's in a little bit of a jam here. Prado, they brought a left-handed pinch hitter. We need to go with the lefty here. We're going to get Gonzalez up, see if we can do a mound visit here to get him ready. Hartlieb says he's got plenty of juice left, and I don't doubt that. But Prado does hit much better against righties, so I think we're going to go ahead and make an early change. He has gotten his 3 batters in, so we're able to put Gonzalez in and pitch the batter. Gonzalez is a pretty balanced pitcher, so we're just going to pitch to Two-Rang here and see if we get anything. 3-1 count, though, or he's pitching against Prado, not Two-Rang. Now he's pitching to Taylor Walls after they make a change. Walls is pretty evenly matched. Bases loaded here again. 1 out, but he's going to hit one to Simmons. He twists it up the middle, and we get a double play. Sure, Gonzalez gets out of an absolute huge jam here. We obviously didn't really want to necessarily use him in that situation, especially with his spot in the lineup coming up next. But he did do his job there. And speaking of doing the job, Simmons comes up here, and he's going to have a leadoff double, it looks like here. So he gets on to lead off the bottom of the 7th inning, where we could use some insurance run support. We do have Harper coming up the next inning, but we might want to leverage our other lefty for later in the game, possibly. Not quite sure what we want to do here. We are in the bottom of the 7th. We're going to need to cover the top of the 8th and top of the 9th. pitching wise. So with that said, we're at least gonna make the change. Batting wise here, they have Hurd on the mound. So I think that means we're gonna go Jing Shang at the plate. With the runner in scoring position, that's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna put him in the pinch hit. Now the question is who we cover him on the mound with. Top 2 through 4 hitters are up here. How does Priester pitch against lefties? Priester is actually very good against left-handed batters. We'll also see how Montgomery and McKenzie stack up. He doesn't pitch to lefties quite as well, but still is effective. And then McKenzie is hot, to remind of, and he is pretty equal against both. However, I think we're going to go with Priester, our best reliever here. And then we're also going to see Jing Shang can get us a run here. And he's going to fly out to, or line out, I should say, to the shortstop, see if Hudson Head can do anything here with the top of the lineup turning around. And he's actually going to go ahead and get on. And that is going to bring Gonzalez to the plate, who has been very good for us, of course, at the plate this year. See if he can do anything. And he hits one out to right field, and that one is going to get down in front of Harper. The ball is shallow. Simmons is the fast runner, and Harper has a cannon for an arm. We're going to try to go ahead and get that done, but it looks like he got thrown out, which is very rough to see. Don't know why there wasn't any animation for it, but looks like we're not going to get anything through there. So we strand some runners in scoring position. Simmons apparently gets thrown out. What just happened? Think. Yes, we want to insert Priester as the pitcher. I'm very confused at what happened there. We want to pitch to the top of the Phillies lineup in the 8th here. Hopefully we can get things done. Stott hits one hard, but lines that out to Robinson, who is not the greatest defensive center fielder, but he's able to make a fantastic dive and grab in center there with one away, and then a bomb strikes out. So Priester making quick work of the Phillies lineup. Not so lucky with Harper, who was able to get on with a single. But now we have Realmuto up, and we survived Harper not tying up the game, which is huge, of course, since he demolishes righties. And we remain holding the lead after the 8th inning, now heading into the bottom of the 8th. We could very well let Priester go forward. He is very good, and I honestly think I might go ahead and let him continue. The only thing is that would mean that he just wouldn't be available for tomorrow, although I don't think I would use him tomorrow anyway. So I think we will. You know what? I think it'll hinge on just how we do here in the bottom of the 8th offensively, where Gallo is hitting on an 0-2 count. And that should be a routine fly ball to center field there, no problem, and it is. So Gallo flies out, and there's a one away. Ramos is up next. Looks like he's going to be going with no count against a lefty, and Ramos gets that one down for a base hit, so he will be on first with one away. Now Rortvedt, our left-handed hitting catcher. He is still very good against right-handed pitching, against left-handed pitching, I should say. We're going to leave him in to hit away, but he's also going to hit a easy fly ball to center field to grab, and that is 2 away now with Robinson coming up to the plate. So it's looking like Priester probably going to stick with him for the rest of the regulation baseball here, and we will, as we don't get anything in the bottom of the 8th. Starting off the top of the 9th, the Phillies hit one right off the shallow left field. Head is not quite able to get to it after trying to make a sliding grab. So there's one on with no out. And then he's able to advance on a wild pitch from Priester. So definitely not ideal. Looks like he is struggling in the second inning of work. See if we can get Fairchild to do anything here. And he is able to strike out. So Priester getting him in the strikeout with their number 8 hitter Gonzalez up. First pitch swinging is Gonzalez, but he's going to fly one out to left field. Very easy play for Hudson Head to make, as the Phillies have their have the tying run on second base with 2 out. And they're going to bring in a pinch hitter for their pitcher. And the pinch hitter is going to be Gio Urshela, who is not as good against righties as he is against lefties here. He's also cold, so that is definitely something to note. And he's going to have an 0-2 count against him, against Priester, and he's going to go down swinging. So Priester shuts down the Phillies here. So very, very good right there, as we were able to pick up a game. It also said we were down 2-1, which I don't know why it says that. I must have skipped a game somehow, which is very weird. Yeah, it says we lost 18-6 against Kirby, even though it said we had an off day that year, so I'm not too sure what the heck's that about. So it looks like we actually missed the game, which I'm sorry about that. So our backs were actually against the wall right there, which is really, really whack. I don't even know how the heck that even happened. I wondered why a lot of the guys had weird, stamina left after what should have been a day off. So I'm not quite sure what happened there, because it said that there's a day off in between games, but I guess not. So that's really weird. That's also very annoying how I ended up missing a game there, but whatever. I guess we have to continue on. So we're down 2-1. It's not a 1-1 series, but be some comeback if we have the comeback. Nick Nelson, he has a cold that has minimal effect on him, but I still don't really want to use him. We do have Tristan McKenzie, who's 100% rested. He's very good as a starter for us this year, and he's also hot. So I think what we're going to do here is we're going to decide to go with McKenzie instead of Nick Nelson. Nick Nelson, I'd definitely be open to using him today if we need to, but I would rather go with a sure thing McKenzie. He's been pitching well of recent. So I think we're going to go ahead and go with him. Getting into Game 4 now. Phillies have Mikolas on the mound for them, and we, of course, have McKenzie. See if we can do anything in the early game, but no, we do get one actually in the second running, actually 2 spot. Looks like Christian Robinson doubled and brought in a run, and then McKenzie himself also got a hit, so pretty cool to see there. He's also not a very good hitter, so definitely a bonus there. McKenzie helping himself out a little bit there as we continue through. The Phillies get some runs of their own and tie it back up. A 2-run homer by Turang, it looks like. McKenzie, those threw very strongly, 42 pitches so far through 4 innings, and he gets through a clean 5th, while we actually put up 2 runs of our own in the bottom of the 4th, which I didn't even notice somehow. Looks like Simmons was able to double and not bring any runs, and actually not score, but Gonzalez was able to get on. Looks like and score a run. He was brought in by Ramos, and Robinson hit a homer, a 2-run homer. So he definitely some big insurance runs there as we get through that. See if McKenzie can give us a clean 6th, and he is able to. So we have a 3-run lead. McKenzie pitching very well. He's at 73 pitches. We're going to let him go for another one. See if he can give us another scoreless inning, and he does, only at 80 pitches. So theoretically, we could send him out again. It's going to be against the top of their lineup. So maybe we let him continue cautiously, as we do only have a 3-run lead. I think what we're going to do is get up a lefty to pitch to the top of this lineup. Gonzalez is who we're going to go ahead and get up. So we're going to do that and see if McKenzie can get through. We're in some trouble as he has gotten into the red stamina-wise. But we're going to quickly go to Gonzalez and see if we can get out of this tough first and third situation. Head makes a great grab in left field, but actually they turn two as Head goes ahead and throws the runner out at home. I was not expecting at all that he would be able to throw him out after making that play left, but it happened, and we got the double play, an absolutely huge double play that got us out of a very tough situation. Yeah, that was crazy. So we're going to go ahead and swing away here, see if we'll end up getting to Gonzalez's spot. I would honestly kind of prefer not to, so we can let him pitch the next inning. As we'll need a lefty to pitch against Harper, and I don't really want to leave another lefty in to go down the lineup, as I want to try to save my lefties for the next game. So having Gonzalez in here would be ideal, and it looks like we are going to be able to keep Gonzalez in. Kind of weird to root for no offense in the inning, but maybe that works out better for us. Alec Boehm is pretty good against lefties, and I know Remuto hits very well against lefties as well. So we're going to go ahead and let him pitch to at least Boehm and Harper, and then go ahead and get a righty up. We'll get Montgomery up, and he will get in after Gonzalez, as we need to take care of this ninth inning. So he pitches to Boehm, and it looks like he's going to ground out and play. Should be no problem for Hayes, and it isn't, as he gets Boehm out. And now Harper, we're going to go ahead and go right at him, lefty on lefty matchup. Hopefully we can come out the better, and we do, as Harper strikes out. He's hitting 500 this series, so our huge actually getting him out. And then we're going to go with Montgomery to hopefully get Remuto, who is much worse against right-handed pitching. 1-0 pitch to Remuto. Over to Hayes, no problem for him as he fires over the first, and we tie this one up. Going to a deciding Game 5 in the NLDS. So hopefully we can come back from a 2-0 deficit and get through it. So very, very interesting decision here we have to try to get out of this series in Game 5. It wants us to start Nick Nelson. So we'll see what we actually want to do here. We do have a day off. Hopefully it doesn't actually play a game in that time, and it doesn't. We have a very interesting decision here to make pitching wise. So Kirby obviously was very good for us on the 27th in our game 163. Earlier this series against the Phillies, he was not nearly as good, only getting through 2 1/3 and allowing 6 earned runs. Do we really want to go with him? Again, not sure. Now, Nelson, don't know if he's completely healthy yet. It looks like he is, but also looks like he's coming off a cold. It looks like he is cold performance-wise. So it honestly might be better to go with Kirby, who is fully rested, which is important to note. Okay, actually suggesting that we pitch Nelson here. Nelson pitched us to a loss earlier this series, but it was pretty good. Gave us 6 solid innings in Game 1. But I think honestly we have to go with Kirby. He's been our best pitcher all year. Even though he did kind of have a blow up in that game, they're gonna be going with Flaherty, and Kirby's our best pitcher, so I think we should be going with him. Hitting wise, might be wise to shake up this lineup, as Gallo has not been hitting at all. Ramos has been hitting. Hayes hasn't really been hitting. Simmons has been hitting. We're going against a righty here. I don't want to move Gallo down too much. Wow, really actually, no one on our offense has really been hitting except Ramos. Hudson Head has been hitting. Gonzalez really has been hitting. So I think this is what we're going to go with. I don't want to move Gallo too far down. Simmons has been hitting, but kind of hesitant to move him up in the lineup that much. Because he shouldn't be as good of a hitter as a lot of the guys we of course have on our team. But nevertheless, we're heading to Game 5 here in Philadelphia. Hopefully we can get a win. And things do look good early, as we are able to get a run. Gonzalez gets an RBI, there, so he actually does something, but the Phillies answer right back, as it looks like Realmuto was able to score 2 rang on a sacrifice play, and we do get a run right back in that second inning, as it looks like Kirby himself hit a run in. He also is not a very good hitting pitcher, but 2 pitchers, McKenzie and Kirby, back-to-back games getting some run support for themselves, and Rortvedt hits a solo homer to extend it to a 2-run lead, but we blow it right in the next inning as the Phillies put up a 3-spot. Realmuto hit a 3-run homer, so that's how they got all of the runs that inning. Kirby is now cold. I think that shows to us that we just need to go ahead and get him out of there as fast as possible. Don't want to leave him in after he let a 3-spot in that inning. We do have plenty of arms available here, and I think we started off by going to Montgomery here. See if we can get something done here. The pitcher spot may come up here in this inning as Christian Robinson comes up with first pitch swinging. He hits one deep out to center field, but Fairchild gets there, so 2 away. Now Simmons is up with the pitcher spot up after him, but Simmons is going to strike out here. And Kirby 69 pitches in, but we're going to try to go with Montgomery here to get us out of it. He does pitch us a scoreless inning, but we're not going to go ahead and pitch it that early, as we want Montgomery to give us some innings here. At least 2 innings of work would be preferable. Yes, we're going to go ahead and give him another inning. He gets us through 2 innings. 40 pitches for Montgomery, striking out 5 in 2 innings is very, very good. He was extremely good for us out of the bullpen this year. Although I don't know if I want to turn him a 3rd inning over to him, as he is listed as a reliever right now. And I do think there's some wonkiness with the stamina, even though he has great stamina, or not great stamina, but good stamina to go multiple innings. I think Reggie Lawson is who we go to next. We are in a situation where we're at the top of the lineup with their best lefties, which could mean that Harper is coming up. Gonzalez is preferable to not be used, though. We still are pretty early leverage. This is an interesting decision here. I think honestly we have to go with the lefty here. So we're just gonna go Wyman right away. But first, see if anything happens this inning, and we do. It looks like we have a runner in scoring position with no outs. Although Ramos is not able to take advantage of it. 0-1 count to Hayes. It looks like he also is not going to do anything as he flies out to right, and the runner does not advance. Meanwhile, Gallo. This is just not an ideal situation. Gallo has been very bad this playoffs. We're against a left-handed pitcher, which he, of course, is not nearly as good against. Thinking about going with a pinch hitter here, although not quite sure he would go with. I guess Rocco is who he should go with. He can also play first base. To be honest, I think we have to pinch it for him here. He just hasn't been good all series, and against a left-handed pitcher, which he is much worse against. And we're going to get a wild pitch out of it, so only 1 base away. All he needs to do is put something in play here. Rocco is an on-base machine, so hopefully he can do just that and at least get on here in this situation. But it doesn't look like he's going to, as he just hits a lazy fly ball to center. So we do not get out of the inning with a run. Wyman, he's going to come into the game for us. And Rocco, we need to assign him to first base. How tall is he again? It's not showing on the screen, but I think he's going to go ahead and play first base anyway. I don't know why it's not showing that, but whatever. Go back to the game action. It's going to show it here. Still no. It's going to show us his height here. He's only 5'10". You really don't want to play someone that short at first base, but we really don't have anyone else to play, so he's going to be a defensive downgrade, but felt like that was a move we had to make. Harper's going to be leading off the inning here. The pitcher spot is going to be up, so we do have a bit of a tough decision here, It looks like we're probably going to have to go with Gonzalez the next inning as home run for Robinson to lead off the inning. So we're going to tie this game up right here. So very interesting. I think we might have to let Wyman hit here. Just so, because with the 3 batter minimum rule, we would have to leave a left-handed pitcher here as we get a double, and we'd have to bring another left-handed pitcher who would have to get to Remuto. Hazley I'm not worried about, but Fairchild, also not too worried about him. And we do have a runner on with no outs here, so we honestly might just have to pinch hit, but I am a bit worried about how this would cycle, because that means we would have to go with a righty there, although we could go with a very good righty in Priester, but I think we just have to do this. We have to go with Gonzalez as our left-handed specialist, and then lefty is on the mound, so you would think we'd have to go with Palma here, and that's what we're going to do. Palma is going to get the pinch hit appearance. I think his first at bat of the playoffs, so actually he did have one that was probably in the game that we accidentally simmed past. So 1-1 count for Palma here. Hopefully we can get some insurance runs. And that one is not going to get down as another diving play in center field. Lots of good outfield defense in this series as Hudson Head steps in with an 0-2 count. And he's not going to do anything with that. And Gonzalez, meanwhile, comes up with a 2-0 count. But that's just going to be a ground ball to first base. That is not going to do anything. So we get a run and tie the game. But that is about it, as Gonzalez is going to have to come in and get a very important out here right away against Harper. But going with runners in scoring position, he gets through a clean inning as the Phillies are going to turn the Munoz in the top of the 8th with our 3-4-5 up. So very smart by them, leveraging their best reliever against our run-producing part of the offense. And with that, we're just going to go ahead and get Priester up, our best arm, and counter with him in the next inning. So see if we can get anything going here in the top of the 8th. Ward Fed is leading off, and he's going to have full count on him. Hopefully he can get on here, but he is actually going to get that one through a low liner that's able to get past the shortstop, who is Jacob Gonzalez, who's a pretty good defensive shortstop at that. So able to get on, so 1 on and no away as Ramos comes to the plate with a 0-1 count. Grounder to second base there, but that's all they're going to get going the second for the first out. Very good by Ramos, who is pretty fast, who was able to ward off the double play there, as Hayes is now up with a 2-1 count, but he's going to hit one right back to first, and they are going to in fact turn 2 there. So the game remains tied as we go into the bottom of the 8th. Fairchild is up. This is the tough part because we're not gonna have a lefty to counter up here, but Priester is our best reliever, and this is why we're gonna have to trust him to get these kind of outs late in the games. But a rare error by Hayes is gonna get a leadoff runner for Philadelphia there, so not the most ideal time for an error, but Simmons is gonna be making sure handed play at shortstop with the pop out. And Henry Davis, who is the number 1 overall pick in real life by the Pirates here with the Phillies here, so the other Pennsylvania team. Hopefully we are able to get him here without too much trouble. Full count. Hopefully we don't walk him, but he's going to strike out. So 2 outs and runner on first base with 2 rang up. He hits that one into the gap, but should be no problem for Head, and he is able to get there. So no runs there for the Phillies as Priester is able to shut them down, and one would assume that he will be back out for the next inning, and my plan is to leave him out there. Rocco leading off the inning, and he's going to do what he does best, getting on base any way possible, and that time he does it with a base hit. So 1 on with no outs there. Robinson now coming up a full count, but he's going to take strike 3 against the very tough Munoz, who is in his second inning of work. Simmons now coming up, and he is going to be out, but they're not going to turn 2 here, so very interesting decision. Priester, of course, is not your average hitting pitcher. Was even used as a two-way player a bit. Munoz is very, very tired and laboring though. For the bullpen, we do have a lot left. We could go with both of the Nelsons. Cobos is available. Lots of guys at full strength. So I think what we have to do here is go ahead and pinch hit for Priester. He did the job getting out of that last inning. Maybe plan for him to get multiple innings here, but we're just gonna have to in the National League, leverage him for a pinch hitter, which is very tough, and we're gonna have to get a guy up who can get both lefties and righties out. Austin is actually pretty good against lefties, so we could possibly get him up. Kawasaki, don't really want to get him up, although he is also very good against lefties as well, although I don't know if I necessarily trust him. I think we have to go with Lawson or possibly Hartlieb. Hartlieb is not good against lefties though, so I think Lawson's who we're gonna be getting up here. But with that said, we do have this at bat to, of course, get through, where hopefully Jing Chen can get an insurance run, but he's not going to do that despite lining one and hitting one hard to the outfield. It's going to be right to the center fielder. So Lawson, we're going to need him to get us through this inning, and that's going to start off with a full count against, I believe, Bryson Stott's leading off the inning, and he's going to get on with ball 4. So not ideal. We're going to need Lawson to go right at Bohm, and he is looks like Gonzalez chooses not to make the throw. It looked like from the game there that we could have easily got Bohm at first. He is not the best of runners, so don't really understand how that happened. But with Harper here, what are we going to do? I think we probably should pitch around Harper. They do have the pitcher spot up next because of a double stitch that they made. You'd have to think they would go pinch hitter here. Munoz, 33 pitches. So I think what we're going to do, I don't know if we want to walk Harper necessarily, because that would put a runner in scoring position. I would be fine with the walk, but we're going to go ahead and pitch around the Harper. 3-1 count. It looks like a walk does happen. Does move up a runner in scoring position. But no, Prado, another lefty that they have off their bench. Very good pinch hitter to have off their bench is coming up. So we're going to have to get him out here. Full count to Prado. And that's going to be a walk for Lawson, who's now walked 3 batters in the inning. This is no good. I think we have to get him out of there. Nelson could go with him. Nick Nelson. I didn't mean to click on Ryan Nelson again. Could go with Nick Nelson, who is cold. He is slightly better against lefties. Who else do we have? We can go with Cobos. We go with him. Don't want to go with Kawasaki because he, of course, doesn't have great control. We already have the bases loaded. This is not ideal. I think, honestly, we might have to go with Nelson. Ryan Nelson, that is. And I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to warm up. At least to go ahead and visit the mound. He says he still feels fresh. Of course he does. I think we're gonna have to go ahead and let him pitch here. And it works out there as he gets Hazley strike looking on the changeup. Nelson is ready. He is ready. Do we make the change here? Fairchild is up. Nelson isn't particularly great against right-hand batters. I think we're going to make the move and go with Ryan Nelson. A 2-2 count for Fairchild, who is up. Hopefully Nelson can get Fairchild. And he does. He strikes him on the 2-2 pitch. Huge spot. Striking him out with the bases loaded. Honestly can't believe we're somehow able to get that after Lawson walked the bases loaded. And now Hudson Head leads things off the 10th inning, but he lines out. The Phillies did make a pitching change, bring in Edgar Garcia, their second best bullpen arm. And now Gonzalez is going to step up with a 3-1 count, but is going to be softly hit to second base and no problem for the out. So Turang gets the out there. Now Rortvedt is coming up here. and he is able to hit one into the gap, but that one's only going to be a single as it drops in front of Harper. So now Ramos is on with 1 on and 2 out, an 0-2 count. According to Ootp, this is probably a strikeout, and it is. 0-2 counts usually never work out, but we do have Nelson back on the mound for us, and it's not promising. There's just a 3-0 count with Gonzalez, but luckily he is 3-0 swinging there and is not able to take advantage of that pitch, so we get the out there. Henry Davis hits one out to right field, and the bench catcher for the Phillies looks like he's going to send everyone home and end the series. Oh, man. Against Nelson. Wow. So the backup catcher, who's not even that great of who's not a great hitter, not too great of a player in this OTP world, but looks like that's going to end up ending the season for us, as we're not able to get out of the NLDS once again. So it's rough. We get another bad start from Kirby, or not even that bad of a start, but we decided to yank him early after giving up that big 3-spot in the 4th, or I think it was a 3-spot in the 4th. I don't remember, but yeah, I mean, we were able to get out of that bases loaded jam, but Ryan Nelson, using him in a bullpen role, he was just not able to get it done. And to be honest, I think the Phillies are probably a better team. We definitely need to. I mean, it was I think a poor matchup for us. They had a lot of left-handed hitters at the top of the lineup, and we don't even have a left-handed starter on our team, and only 2 left-handed bullpen arms that aren't necessarily that great. So that could be one thing to upgrade in the offseason, get a stud left-handed pitcher, whether it be a starter or a reliever. Come time for the next postseason, though, we can match up better against the Phillies, or really any team that has their top hitters as left-handed hitters. So very, very rough to see, as we're once again bounced out in the playoffs early, and that's going to end our season, and that's going to go ahead and end the episode. So thank you for watching. I have some ideas about what I might be able to do in the offseason to make us better. Our money situation is pretty poor. We don't have any money for extensions. Lots of guys are going to need to be paid more money next season. So there are lots of guys who definitely could be moved. Nick Nelson's due for a pay raise, and he did not perform to what his salary was this year, so he could be a big trade candidate. Rortvedt's due for a bigger money in his next arbitration year. He could be a guy that we would be willing to move, possibly. Kirby is due for a big raise. Don't know what we're going to do with him at this point. Lots of big decisions to make this offseason, and I'm going to go ahead and leave it at that. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next episode.